Ever wondered how the super rich seem to play by a different set of rules? Well, today we're diving into one of the most audacious, mind-bending financial loopholes I've ever come across. It's the story of how one billionaire put his entire mansion on wheels, all to avoid paying property tax. It sounds like something out of a movie, but it's a real strategy, and it's absolutely brilliant. Imagine this. You've just built your dream home. It's a sprawling, multi-million-dollar estate with all the luxuries you could ever want. Then, the first property tax bill arrives, and it's a staggering $50,000 per year. For most people, that's just a cost of ownership. But for one forward-thinking, or perhaps loophole-loving billionaire, it was a problem to be solved. His solution wasn't to downsize or move to a lower tax state. It was to fundamentally change what his house was. He decided to reclassify his real estate as a vehicle. So, how on earth do you turn a house into a car? This is where the engineering genius comes in. The core idea is to build the entire house not on a traditional concrete foundation, but on a massive, custom-built hydraulic chassis. Think of it like the undercarriage of a gigantic truck, but instead of a cargo container on top, there's a luxury home. This chassis is equipped with heavy-duty wheels and a powerful hydraulic system that can lift the entire structure off the ground. With the push of a button, the house can be raised, lowered, and most importantly, moved. Legally, this changes everything. In many jurisdictions, the definition of real estate is tied to its permanence. A structure is considered real property if it is permanently affixed to the land. But what if your house isn't affixed at all? What if it's on wheels and can technically drive away? Suddenly, it doesn't fit the legal definition of a house anymore. Instead, it fits the legal definition of something else entirely: a recreational vehicle or an RV. And this is the magic key that unlocks the whole strategy. Think about it. An RV isn't subject to property tax. You don't get a bill from the county based on the value of your Winnebago. Instead, you pay a vehicle registration fee. And this is where the numbers get truly insane. Instead of that $50,000 annual property tax bill, our billionaire now pays a vehicle registration fee of maybe $100. Let me repeat that. He went from $50,000 a year to just $100. That's a 99.8% reduction in his tax burden. Over a decade, that's $500,000 saved. Over 30 years, it's $1.5 million. Suddenly, the massive upfront cost of building that hydraulic chassis doesn't seem so crazy after all. It's a long-term investment that pays for itself many times over. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but you still need somewhere to put this RV mansion, right? You can't just park it on the street. And you're absolutely correct. The strategy requires you to own the land. You buy a beautiful piece of property, maybe by a lake or in the mountains. But you don't build a house on it. Instead, you park your movable estate there. The legal justification is that the vehicle is only temporarily parked on the land. How long is temporary? Well, that's the gray area this strategy lives in. If the house can be moved at any moment, who's to say it isn't temporary, even if it stays in the same spot for years? You'd have a concrete slab or reinforced pad where the house rests, with utility hookups for water, sewer, and electricity that can be easily connected and disconnected, just like at a high-end RV park. When the house is lowered onto this pad, it looks and feels exactly like a permanent home. The hydraulics retract, the wheels are hidden, and a skirt can be placed around the base to complete the illusion. To any casual observer, it's a beautiful mansion sitting on a prime piece of real estate, but legally, it's just a very, very fancy camper van taking a long vacation. This concept pushes the boundaries of legal definitions and tax codes. It's a masterclass in exploiting loopholes. The law is written with specific definitions in mind, and when something new comes along that doesn't quite fit the old boxes, things get interesting. Is it a building? Is it a vehicle? The tax code for property is designed for static, immovable objects. The code for vehicles is designed for things that move on roads. This creation exists in the twilight zone between the two. Of course, this isn't a strategy for the average person. The engineering and construction costs are astronomical. You need a team of architects, engineers, and specialized builders to design and create a movable chassis strong enough to support a multi-ton luxury home without it cracking or shifting. The hydraulic systems alone are a marvel of modern engineering, requiring immense power and precision to lift and lower the structure safely and evenly. You're essentially building two complex systems, a luxury home and a heavy-duty industrial vehicle, and then merging them into one. The initial investment would be millions of dollars more than a conventional build. Furthermore, you'd likely face some serious legal challenges. You can bet that local tax assessors wouldn't be too happy about this. They would almost certainly take you to court, arguing that the structure is, for all intents and purposes, a permanent dwelling and should be taxed as such. The legal battle would be intense. The tax authority would argue that the intent is permanent residence, regardless of the wheels. They'd point to the utility hookups, the landscaping, and the sheer fact that the house hasn't moved in years. The billionaire's defense would be simple and powerful. Your Honor, the law defines real property as being permanently affixed. My home is on wheels. It is, by definition, not permanently affixed. I can move it tomorrow if I choose. Therefore, it is personal property, specifically a vehicle, and should be taxed according to the vehicle code. The outcome of that court case would set a fascinating precedent. It would hinge on the precise wording of state and local laws, and it could go either way. It's a high-stakes legal gamble, but for a potential savings of millions of dollars, it's a gamble some are willing to take. This idea also opens up a world of other possibilities. Imagine having a vacation home that you could move. Spend the summer in the mountains, and when winter comes, you don't just close it up. You move the entire house to a beach in Florida. It's the ultimate form of mobility, combining the comfort and space of a real home with the freedom of a nomadic lifestyle. You'd never have to pack a suitcase for vacation again. You'd just bring your entire house with you. This isn't just a theoretical concept. There are companies today that specialize in building high-end modular and prefabricated homes that are designed to be transportable. While they might not be on a self-propelled hydraulic chassis, they are built in a factory and transported to a site, often placed on a less permanent foundation. This trend towards mobile and modular construction is already blurring the lines. The billionaire's movable estate is just the most extreme and luxurious evolution of this idea. It's a perfect example of tax avoidance, which is legal, versus tax evasion, which is illegal. Tax avoidance is the legitimate minimizing of taxes, using the law as it's written. This strategy doesn't involve hiding income or lying on forms. It involves structuring your assets in such a way that they fall into a lower tax category. It's playing the game by its rules, but playing it at a level most of us could never even imagine. So the next time you see a massive mansion, take a closer look at the foundation. You never know, it might just have a set of wheels hidden underneath. It's a bold, brilliant, and borderline absurd way to redefine wealth and ownership. It's a reminder that for those with enough resources and creativity, the rules are often just suggestions. What do you think? Is this a brilliant financial move or an unethical exploitation of the system? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your take on this. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the creative world of the super rich, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that will make you rethink everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.